Welcome to the most important podcast ever. This episode's a little different, and for me, a very special one. Last week, you heard me talk about the weddings getting ready to happen in my family. And tonight, we have my son Joseph and his fiancee, Abby Pohlen, here. And in just a few days, they're going to be married. And before the music starts and everyone gathers and dances and we toast, and Abby and Joe say, I do, I want to capture this moment. Not the wedding plans, not the seating charts, although I hope that comes up because I think it's cool how they did that. Not whether everything is ready. I want to talk about them, with them, how they got here, what they see in each other, what they've learned along the way, and most importantly, about the life they plan to build together. I've had the privilege of watching their relationship grow over the years, and now I get to sit down with them on the doorstep of one of life's great adventures. My hope is that we'll have some laughs, maybe learn a few things, and create something they can come back to years from now, maybe even on their 25th anniversary, and their kids will say, man, Grandpa was funny. That's what I hope. So, Joe and Abby, welcome to the most important podcast ever. Before you say I do, let's talk about the life that comes after it.
Let's do it.
All right. So let's start at the beginning, how we got here. And let's have a little fun remembering your story. What do you remember about meeting each other?
Yeah, well, I was hanging out with my friend Allie, our neighbor Allie, and we saw a bunch of cute guys next door. My parents' house is like 3 doors down from the Dunn's cabin, so we just walked over there and we hung out that night, had a bonfire, went swimming, and I guess Joe and I just had a connection, curiosity about each other, and we kind of kept in touch throughout the summer when Joe would be in town, and did long distance during the school year when Joe was in school in Edina. And the rest is history.
What were your first impressions? Joe, what were your first impressions?
It's hard to remember given it's been 10 years, but first impressions were just that she seemed really down to earth and fun to hang out with, obviously very pretty, and just wanted to get to know her more and spend more time with her.
Can I tell you what I remember? There's 2 things. One, Abby and I've talked about this many times. Abby is not in the habit of going and ringing doorbells. And that was a really provincial, serendipitous thing, I think. My big memory is like 3 weeks after that night when the doorbell rang, or that day when the doorbell rang, I looked out in the driveway and I said, Joe's walking up the driveway and he's got his arm around somebody. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's Abby. And that's when I thought, oh, okay, this is a thing. And I thought immediately what a wonderful person and what a wonderful match the 2 of you made. I want to sort of move to what you see in each other. And can I start with you, Joe? What do you admire most about Abby?
I think it would probably be her kindness and generosity of spirit. I think she really cares about other people and is very selfless in that way, and always is striving to kind of make other people happy and do the best she can for other people. So I think she's very giving in that way. I think that's what I admire most.
Abby, same question.
Yeah, well, the thing I admire most about Joe is his faithfulness and just kind of his own personal relationship with God, and that was one of the things that first attracted me to him, and one of the first things I learned about him. He's really funny. He makes me laugh every day. Super passionate about the things that he enjoys or doesn't enjoy, and it just keeps life really interesting. So it's really fun.
I admire both of your faithfulness, and I think it's very cool. I also will tell you, you both make me laugh almost every day, and Joe has made me laugh every day since he was this high, since he was Kyler Murray size. He made me laugh. Is there a quality that you each see in the other that you just hope never changes?
I think it would kind of go back to the answer I just gave, but that kind of kindness and also like ability to have fun together and laugh together. I think that's been a constant throughout the whole relationship, and I think that that's something we would never want to lose, even as we get older and have a family and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if it's a quality, but just like the excitement of seeing each other after every day. Life can get stressful or busy at times, but I feel like when we get home from work, it's always just like a fun little moment for us.
Do you guys think that you've made each other better?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like when you love someone, you want to be a better person for them. So I definitely feel like that.
Yeah, I also think we have different personality types and different strengths and weaknesses. So I think we are able to kind of balance each other out well and cover up for each other's weaknesses and enhance each other's strengths.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody who loves you both, I think you guys are a great team. I think you're extremely complementary, your skill sets, and I think your values are so well aligned. It really is. It inspires me, to be very candid. It really, really does. Is there something that Joe understands about you, Abby, that other people don't or most people don't?
Yeah, I feel like having such a close relationship with someone for so long, they learn like the ins and outs of how you communicate or the ways that you might feel in certain situations. They just know you, so they can predict how you'd react to something or what you would say or whatever. So yeah, for sure.
How about you, Joe?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I alluded to before, we've been together for 10 years now. So especially given we were 16 when we started dating, we kind of have grown up together. So I feel like we've had a long period of figuring out kind of what makes each other tick and how the other one's going to respond to certain things and what situations, and again, our strengths and weaknesses, and when one of us needs to step in and carry more of the load or vice versa. So I just think we've built a good communication base and know how each other is going to respond in every situation.
And just for a little balance, is there something each of you have said to yourself, I'm just going to have to live with this about Joe, or I'm going to just have to live with this about Abby because I love her so much?
I think our answer is probably going to be the same in opposite directions. So I'll let Abby go first.
We've had multiple conversations about this, so that's why I think our answers are going to be the same. I am going to have to get used to not being like early to things. I like to be early, and Joe does not. So
I like to be on time. And
Joseph, since you were a little guy, you were always just in time. That is sort of your just in time.
Oh, I don't like to waste time by getting there early when whatever the situation may be is not ready for you anyways.
I I I think that's very, very, very interesting. I really do. Um, let's talk a little bit now from moving from your relationship and planning a wedding. And by the way, the planning the wedding, how has that been? Harder than you thought? Easier?
Definitely harder for me. I knew it would be like stressful and a lot of, planning and just things to think about, but I did not realize how many little things there are to make decisions on. The decision fatigue is real.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for both of us has probably just been we didn't fully appreciate the amount of small details that need to be decided by us. And I think in some cases, maybe even a lot of cases, they're decisions that like we don't necessarily even feel strongly about one way or the other, but it's still on us to make a decision. And it just kind of feels like, well, we don't really care on this one, but I guess we just need to decide. So just a lot of pressure to make a lot of small decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's too many decisions? Do you think it's become too elaborate? Not your specific, but just in general.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know if it's social media or what, but society, weddings are such a big thing these days. So yeah, I do think that it has become just something that's widely more elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably too much because we've talked about this before. Like, ultimately, all that matters on the day of the wedding is that us two show up to the church and get married, and everything else just kind of background noise and details. And so, I think from that perspective, it's all kind of more than is necessary to have a good wedding, but we're just kind of following the trend.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's that moment. It's just you two forever, and I think that's cool. And I worry in general and not specific at all to you guys. In fact, quite the inverse. But I think in general, our society loses sight of that a little bit. I mean, that's a precious moment. We believe that's a sacrament you're entering into.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get at it. What do you think makes a great marriage?
I think at the heart of a lot of it is good communication and being able to express yourselves and communicate well together and understand what's happening. So I think that communication and teamwork are a huge part of what drives a successful marriage. What would you add to that?
I was going to say teamwork and, being on each other's team all the time and, wanting the best for you as a couple. And, that means, being selfless a lot of times. Faith, obviously, for us, and communication, like I kind of said. Fun, laughter.
What do you think drives a good marriage?
I think, Abby, what you said, and you both have said different versions of this. I love the teamwork. You guys are on the same team forever and ever, and you have to be able to throw no-look passes to each other. You have to always have the other's back and believe the best about the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to have rose-colored glasses, but it is to have confidence. And you guys also have a real advantage. I think your faithfulness is really an important component and a positive indicator for long-term success. And you've grown up together, as Joe said. And I wonder sometimes if that's lost on you two, because that's unusual. I know your folks grew up together, Ab.
Yeah,
but it's unusual in this day and age, and really, really a gift, which makes me think this union is heaven sent.
Yeah.
By the way, What do you think is going to require the most work as you go from serious couple to husband and wife?
I think a lot of it comes down to building off the question we just talked about, is like, what are those things that make a successful marriage? And those are the things that you just need to focus on working on and improving on every day. Like, obviously we've been together 10 years and something has worked well in that time, but that's not to say that there's not hard days. And I think it's just always kind of going back to our roots and knowing what those things are, the core tenets of the relationship, and what makes a marriage successful. And those are the things that I think, as long as you focus on those big items and keep that perspective, then everything will continue to work out well.
Yeah. And I think communication, again, like, I feel like it's a bad sign when you stop, talking to each other and working on your relationship. So always prioritizing us as a couple too.
I think that's really important, Abby. Do you guys think you've seen the best and worst of each other in 10 years?
I mean, maybe not like the best and worst, but yeah, there's been good times and bad times for sure. I mean, we went to different high schools, different colleges, and, obviously that's like such a formative and new time for people, especially college. So it'd be easy to, just throw in the towel or whatever when things got tough, or if we weren't seeing each other as often and stuff like that. But I feel like, I feel like it goes to show that, we prioritize our relationship. And
Yeah, I agree.
I just want to toss a little dad log on this fire. Do you know how many times I had to call the Benilde attendance office and explain to them that Joe was missing another Friday so I could take him up for the Thursday volleyball game?
yeah.
So, BSM attendance office, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Joe, what do you want Abby to know she can absolutely count on from you?
I think to just be a reliable and stable partner, and to be a good communicator, and to always be honest with her, even if sometimes that's hard conversations. I think that that's an important part of communicating well, is expressing what's on your mind, even if it's a difficult conversation. So I think it's really just counting on me to be stable, reliable, honest, and hopefully those things also mean being a good partner for her and helping each of us to be the best we can be.
Abby, what do you want Joe to know he can count on?
Just wanting the best for him. I get so protective over him, and especially with his busy job and stuff. It's really upsetting when he can't do the things he wants to do, or and just being like a loving and caring partner to him.
When you guys imagine your future together and the life you hope to build, here we are a little over a week away from your wedding. What do you see? What do you hope?
I think starting a family together is a big part of that. I think that's probably the number one answer that we would both say when we think about our future. But I think, yeah.
Your dad's so excited right now.
I
am. Building a family, but also maintaining like the things that have made our relationship really special for these past 10 years as well, and not losing sight of each other even within that. I think Abby mentioned earlier, like, prioritizing our relationship, and I think we want to continue to do that even once we do have a family, and finding time to be with each other as well through all that, and making sure we prioritize each other and not letting all the different stages and busy parts of life get in the way.
That is so wise, Joe. And I think it's a mistake a lot of couples make. They lose sight because when the little ones come along, it's so easy. Life gets really busy, and it's easy to lose sight or deprioritize each other. And I think that is absolutely the glue that makes the home tick. Not that you asked for advice, but you knew I was going to slip some in. Do you think, are there adventures you look out down the road and that you're really looking forward to having together?
Yeah, for sure. We talk all the time about like things we want to do or the places we want to go. We both love to travel, so that's a big part of it. And then, yeah, I think kids and having a family is an adventure in and of itself. So
yeah, there's kind of the macro things like the family and all those big life milestones and decisions and the wedding, obviously. But I think on a more micro or everyday level, yeah, it's a lot of talking of planning out trips years in advance, talking about some of the sporting events we want to go to, Wimbledon, whatever it might be. Definitely a lot of focus on travel.
yeah.
And you're scratching off a bucket list tonight by being on the most important podcast ever, which I'm so grateful for. What have your families, Abby, what has your family taught you about love and marriage?
Yeah, I have amazing parents. Like you kind of said, they've been together a long time. They went to kindergarten together, rode the bus together. So pretty much their entire lives. And it's really crazy to like hear them talk about their childhoods and each other when they were like in kindergarten. So crazy. But yeah, I think that just foundation of just really knowing and understanding each other and, knowing why they are the way that they are and their history and stuff is just really helpful in being a good partner. So you can like kind of understand where they're coming from and things. And they are ones that are, they've been together this long, but they're always working on their relationship and doing things together, having date nights, things like that. One time, I don't even know if he knows this, but my dad, I saw on his watch or something, he was listening to a podcast about about being a good partner or building a good marriage or something. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Like he's working on his relationship.
Yeah. And first of all, I think your parents are amazing. I love your parents and they're fun. And I think a relationship does take work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to work at a relationship. And I don't think that's like a negative adjective.
Yeah.
Working on it just means you're investing in it.
Yeah.
I think that's really a beautiful answer. Joe, how about you?
I think I would echo a lot of what Abby said, but maybe to hit on some other things. I think like standing by each other in difficult times, obviously with you and mom, and then just the sacrifices that people make on behalf of the family and the kids. I think that was, good to see as a kid and an important part of shaping what we want to do going forward.
That's nice, and it's very true. You guys are doing great. Just a few more minutes, okay? So let's talk a little bit about the 22nd, your soon-to-be wedding day. What are you most looking forward to, Abby?
I would say, finally being married. We've been together for so long. Some people might say, what's going to change? I mean, we've been together so long that it's just kind of a name that's changing. But I think just, involving God in the sacrament, and also being there with our family and friends, and just having everyone together is going to be really fun and really special. And I'm so grateful already for that.
Joseph?
I think my number one answer would be being done with the wedding planning would probably be the number one thing I'm looking forward to.
I think that's legit.
But I mean, honestly, I think for me, it's just going to be having all of our friends and family in one place, to be there to celebrate it with us. I feel like it's kind of the one time in your life that all these different people from different areas of your life all end up in the same spot for a night to celebrate the two of you. So I think that that'll be pretty special and really unique experience and a fun part of the wedding. So
I remember being at my wedding in 1985, and at one point looking around, and it just like mind blown that all these people were gathered to wish Susie and I well in that moment. And it was a really, really powerful feeling. It really was. Now I'm going to nuance the question a little bit. It's the 23rd. Your wedding day's been a smashing success. What are you most looking forward to as husband and wife?
I mean, I think it goes back to a lot of the recent answers here, but it's mostly those like future adventures that we talked about and starting a family together, kind of starting this new chapter of our lives together. But hopefully buying a house soon and kind of ticking off those milestones and entering sort of a new chapter. And then on a more short-term basis, going on the honeymoon.
Yeah. I think that's legit as well. That you guys have a great time planned. So we're almost done, and you guys have been so patient. Let's pretend it's your 25th wedding anniversary, and you're going to re-listen to this episode. What do you both hope you can say about your life together?
Hopefully just that we've had fun and we've navigated the hard times well and lovingly and together. And hopefully we're both happy with how ourselves and the other, were as a partner over the years.
Yeah, hopefully we've stayed true to ourselves, kind of like we talked about at the beginning, with what we kind of hope remains the same. I think, hopefully we haven't lost ourselves and everything's been as we imagined it would be.
So for that time capsule, as you're sitting here tonight, as your final preps for your marriage are coming, what do each of you believe are the most important things in life?
I think for both of us, it's probably going to be similar answers, but I would just say it's pretty simple for me. It's kind of three core pillars of faith, family, and friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. For sure, just prioritizing each other and your family. And, I think Joe and you, Brian, have a good perspective of, you never know when it could be the last day that you'd be able to spend time with someone or be with someone. So I think just appreciating all of that time.
I've been telling people how excited I am about this. And I say I'm 93% like over the moon happy. I'm 5% sad because I wish Susie was here because she will be from above, but she would love this moment so much. And then randomly, I don't know what the other 2% are.
Weird feeling.
Right. But I expect that I'll laugh and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for both of you. I love you both so much. And I wish you joy and happiness. I wish for you green grass, high tides, and the wind blowing out. It's going to be fantastic. I love you both. And I'm so very grateful that you shared this time with me and this time with our audience. I think you landed some really important messages. Anything you'd like to close with?
Yeah, what's your advice for us on the day of, now that we're a week out?
My advice for you on the day, you have done all the work, and I can't believe, Joe, I'm so impressed with the amount of detail, the command you have of that all. Abby's probably shrugging her eyes, but Abby's had to make a million decisions. But my advice to you is enjoy every minute of that, and don't get blue as the reception winds down, because you guys are just getting started. And you make me uh, excited for the future of our families, the Polands and the Dunns. You make me excited for the future of our country, the family you're going to build. And you make me very excited for the next chapters of my life. So
Brian.
enjoy it, you guys. You deserve it. You have done all the hard work. Now just enjoy it. And I would also give you advice. When I give a little talk at the rehearsal dinner, I want you to clap really loud. Can I count on that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Joe's gonna
Joe, I would expect no less from you. I love you both so much, and I thank you for being here.
love you, Brian. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Ab. Thank you, Joe. And that's it for this very special episode of the most important podcast ever. I can't thank Abby and Joe enough. It made my whole night, and it's a precursor. I am going to be weepy, but I'm going to be so happy and so excited. So I want to thank Joe and Abby, but I especially want to thank you for tuning in to this very special episode, and thank you for supporting this effort. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.